Hello, devoted Muskie sports fans. Welcome to this week's Mucho special edition of XCU. I'm your host, PJ O'Keefe. Besides the usual appearance of pretty face Will Marmonti, we have two very special guests with us. Returning to the air for the second time in his college career and still holding the record for tallest man on TV, Kyle Isaack, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle, you joined us last time. You were the winner of our banterage.
I did. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for coming, Kyle. I'm hoping that you can defend your title as best as you see fit.
Oh, so it's already fixed.
I'm just saying, he's got the chance to defend. You got to defend.
Oh, but you hope he defends.
I'm just saying, I want him to put forth an effort, a positive effort, Mr. Emotions. We have another fellow sports expert on the other side, opposite me, Charles Dickson. How are you, Charles?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. No good. Thanks for coming on the show, Charles. Anytime. All right, well, I'll call you when the cameras aren't on, and we'll see.
All right.
Anyways, just to give you a rundown of the format of the show. We usually take a close look at Xavier sports, but we're going to go really in depth to the NCAA tournament today as a whole. We're just gonna talk to each other, debate, and about the topics that have been happening in the NCAA tournament, our seeding, who's going to win, who's going to lose, where we're going to go, where won't we go, what's going to hold us back. I'm going to award some points to these three lovely gentlemen, and the winner gets a free cup of water.
But we already know who that's going to be.
Yeah, so says you and Kyle. Well, guys, let's get this started off. Xavier was given a very generous 4 seed. I know I was expecting a 5, maybe even a 6 after the loss to Temple in the tournament. What do you guys think of the seeding? Fair, unfair, Will?
As a fan, I think it's fair. Looking at it objectively, we probably did deserve more of a 5 or a 6 seed, especially since the other two A10 teams got an 11 seed. That's a big discrepancy considering we struggled down the stretch. But I think that shows that the committee believes that we are a tournament team, and I think that speaks to the program in which it's going.
I think our recent history probably helped us out a little bit. Kyle, what do you think?
I have a feeling that our seeding was proper and correct in what they did because they looked at the beginning of the season rather than the end of the season. And I feel as if the 4 fit Xavier well because, like you said, they had the big wins early. They had the Big 10, I think maybe 9-game win streak there. And I feel as if maybe the seeding wasn't proper in other areas. I feel like other teams got higher seeds that might not have been there or different placement in the bracket. So I feel like it's fitting. I'm kind of mad that we're out in Boise. I think it should have been a little closer. Because I know that we have a lot of Xavier fans that love to go cheer. So.
Yeah, and unfortunate for us, we're not around too many potatoes in these parts.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about unfair seeding, I don't know, you just look to Wake Forest. They're number 8 in the country, but they got a 4 seed. So seeding's a little weird this year. Charles, what do you think?
I see that you guys want to be all nice and say what Xavier should be a 4. I don't think Xavier should be a 4 at all. They should be like a 5 or a 6 or even a 7. Losing to Duquesne, Richmond the last game of the season, Temple, they don't deserve to be 4. I don't think they should be that at all. So
valid point. I'm glad we're spreading the wealth here. We're all just lying down and taking it.
I just don't want to get beat up.
By who?
By who? Jason Love?
Yeah, he's a big man.
Fair enough. Well, that being said, where do we go? We're going to be in the Sweet 16. We're going to be in the Elite 8. We're going to lose first round. I mean, Portland State. I'm intimidated. Kyle, what do you think?
I'm feeling Sweet 16. Everybody's saying, oh, well, watch out for Portland State. I think we're going to be fired up. We know that they're out wanting us. We're the hunted still, as we've been most of the season. But I feel like it's going to be a slow game as we typically start, but I feel like we're going to feel the rhythm, get into it,
feel the rhyme,
and just go to it and play hard. And then I also feel as if Florida State might not even make it through the first round. So I'm feeling a Wisconsin matchup, and I like that. I think we can play that slow-paced and pace of play and allow us to get in our rhythm as we like. So I'm feeling Sweet 16 and a good matchup against Pitt.
I'm looking forward to finding out just how tough Portland State's going to be. I don't even know their mascot. Charles, what do you think?
It's great how you just said Elite 8, Sweet 16, and Final 4. We're not getting nowhere near those. It's not even possible. I don't think so. People here are going to think that they're going to know they might beat Portland State. To me, they're going to beat Portland State by a lot, or they're going to beat Portland State, or they're going to lose Portland State by a little. That's what it is. And they're going to lose to Florida State or Wisconsin in the next round. They're not getting out second round.
Apparently, Charles sees some weakness. What's your major weakness? What do you see?
The major weakness is that we're young. If you stop C.J. Anderson, that's it right there. And then you stop B.J. B.J. plays halves. If he plays good in the first half, or he plays good in the second half. He doesn't play good the whole game. And Derek Brown, you never know when he shows up. to be honest with you.
Valid
So,
points. And CJ's been a derailed train in the last few games. Will, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm not quite as doom and gloom as Charles. I do have him going to Sweet 16, reluctantly. How I do see our weaknesses, I think our weakness is more so at the point guard spot. And as we all know, the tournament, a lot of it's based on guard play. So if Holloway and Jackson can step it up, especially like they did at the preseason tournament, if they can play like that again, I think we'll definitely get to the Sweet 16. And I think they'll be motivated, which is why I have them going to the Sweet 16.
And don't forget about Brad Radford. He's going to be a very positive contribution off the bench. He's got that three-point shot that last year was more of a surprise when B.J. Raymond came through with such a dead-end snipe into the basket. All right, valid points, guys. We've covered our hometown bases now. We're going to get to the national picture of the whole NCAA tournament. You know, we see Xavier as kind of a question mark, kind of a toss-up. We're not really sure exactly what's going to happen. Barack Obama didn't have very much faith in us. He had us losing in the second round to FSU. So we'll see. Who is your Cinderella, guys? I mean, who's going to be the surprise from the double-digit seeds? Kyle, what do you think?
I mean, everybody would like to go with the 12 seed Western Kentucky, the good old Hilltoppers down in Kentucky, because they were there last year, same team. Put them back in the ring and let's see what they do again. And of course, they showed us last night with Illinois coming up with a big win and having control of that game. But actually, I'm going to go with probably out on a limb and say Arizona. I feel as Arizona, yes, their question was with getting into the tournament with their legacy of the tournament, but I feel that they could go to the Sweet 16 and play a big game. They're well coached. They still have Lute Olson in the runnings as kind of running the show, and I think as though they just have a lot of talent and will surprise everybody.
All right, valid points. I know that Western Kentucky's on my list of sleepers, like you said, they are the same team as last year, and they proved their worth and their performance in the NCAA tournament worldwide. Charles, who's your sleeper?
My sleeper, everybody picks, like Kyle said, Western Kentucky. But the other sleeper I have is USC. They are coming off a big win, Pac-10 tournament. They beat California, UCLA, and Arizona State, which Arizona State is 6th seed in the South, I think. And I just have USC with the motivation to have to come in with 3 good wins in the Pac-10 tournament that they can make it to the Sweet 16. But I don't see any Cinderella team getting past the Sweet 16.
It's a really, really strong field this year. You see, look at all the number 1s and number 2s and number 3s. Even the 4s and 5s are really, really good teams. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of dominance comes out of the Elite 8 and the Sweet 16. And everybody's been saying the Pac-10's a little weak this year, so we'll see. ESPN definitely preached to that a lot. Will, what do you think?
I don't really have a sleeper. I got Western Kentucky going to Sweet 16 just because I don't trust Gonzaga. But I don't really have a sleeper out of it. I feel like it's a pretty equal footing. There's, the 2 or 3 teams that are like top echelon, and then I feel like everybody in the middle is really equal, and they're gonna dogfight it out. I just don't see a lower seed going beyond the Sweet 16, like Charles said. And the only double-digit team I got to go in the Sweet 16 is Western Kentucky, because I think they're athletic enough to compete with larger schools.
Very true. Gonzaga struggled with a very surprising Akron team, I believe it was yesterday, and they did pull that out in the end. They went on something like a 24-3 run at the end of the game, so pretty darn good. Well, we'll see about those teams in the coming week or two.